And back with our top story, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will discuss U.S. arms sales to Taiwan when he meets his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in Beijing this week. China, however, reiterating its opposition to any sales of American weapons to the island. Nick Harper, who has been tracking developments for CNA, joins us live from Washington, D.C. Nick, Mr. Trump pushing for talks on its arms sales to the island despite Chinese opposition. What's the U.S. leader hoping to get out of this?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. Interesting one, this, because Donald Trump is here going to be doing something that the US doesn't normally do, and that is engaging directly with China about US arms sales to Taiwan, essentially consulting the Chinese leader on something we know Xi Jinping and China more generally is very much against. So why do it? Now, potentially this could be Donald Trump trying to be more transparent in his negotiations, in his discussions with the Chinese leader. It might give him an opportunity to try and work on some other areas. We know that there are plenty of things that Donald Trump wants to discuss and wants to try and collaborate on. So perhaps by being transparent about the arms sales, it might give him an opening to do so. Back in December, the US authorized its largest ever sales to Taipei, $11 billion in total for that weapons package. And of course, Taiwan is an issue that always comes up. It's a sensitive issue, undoubtedly perhaps the most sensitive issue of anything that the US and China ever discusses. So it's interesting that Donald Trump would want to open himself up to this. The White House, though, is saying ahead of it they don't expect any change in the US policy on Taiwan. But we are hearing that there is some concern behind the scenes, but potentially the US president might make an unforced error. We know he likes to speak off the cuff. Will he say something that deviates from US foreign policy when it comes to Taiwan? And if he does, China will likely try and pounce on that to use it as the new US foreign policy position for the United States when it comes to Taiwan. So a very sensitive issue, and we know that Donald Trump will have to tread carefully when he discusses it with the Chinese leader.
And on top of that, he's hoping to discuss a so-called Board of Trade with Mr. Xi. What more do we know?
That's right. Trade will undoubtedly be the central issue. I mean, it is the thing that really caused big problems. Think back a year ago when we saw tariffs between the two countries jump to more than 100% on either side. We have had that trade truce in place since then. That's something that they will be discussing. But Donald Trump is going armed with help. He's taking a number of CEOs from some of the biggest US companies, including Tim Cook from Apple, Elon Musk from Tesla, also the CEOs of Boeing and Meta as well, back up to perhaps push his case for trade, perhaps get more investment from China in the United States. And then there's that Board of Trade, the creation of a new joint venture that Donald Trump has been suggesting. This seems to be a way to try and get more collaboration on areas of trade, to try and keep that dialogue going, to create some stability in the relationship when it comes to trade, perhaps also look for continued engagement beyond this visit to Beijing. That tariff trade truce likely to be extended. We probably won't have an actual deal out of this visit. And we know that the US will also be pushing for more trade with China, trying to get Beijing to buy more soybeans from the United States over the next 3 years, more Boeing aeroplanes as well, and more US energy. So plenty of areas, but Donald Trump will be pushing hard on those when it comes to trade.
Thanks for that update, Nick. Nick Harper reporting live for CNA from Washington, D.C.